The term competent person is being used in many OSHA standards and documents. It's important to understand that OSHA defines a competent person as one that is capable to identify existing and predictable hazards that are hazardous or unsanitary to the employee. On a construction site, you will encounter different activities. You will encounter the activities being performed on excavations, confined spaces, steel erection. You would also see erection and dismantling of scaffolds, people working on scaffolds. Now, the last one we're going to talk about is the one where you have people working at elevations of 6 feet or more. OSHA states that the employer must ensure that workers do not fall to the next lower level, whether they're performing activities on the leading edge of any surface in a vertical or a horizontal position. That's why it's important to understand that with Clark Construction, we have a rule of thumb when it comes to falls. We require fall protection at 6 foot on all activities. Again, whether it's steel erections, scaffolds, or excavations, or performing any activities in confined spaces. When it comes to fall protection, remember there's a hierarchy of controls. One of the first things we want to look at when it comes to protecting workers from falling to the next lower level, receiving more than 1,800 pounds of force on their body, as OSHA states on the standard, or free falling more than 6 foot, we need to put this in place. In the hierarchy of controls for fall protection, number one is elimination. If we cannot eliminate the use of fall protection, then we go to the next one, and it's a passive system. A passive system is the one that you're going to see very common on job sites, and it's a guardrail system. A guardrail consists of a top rail that will stand 200 pounds of force within 2 inches, outward and downward, or a bit and a mid rail, 200 pounds, and also a top rail, 50 pounds. That is the most common fall protection systems you will see in a building. Now the third one, it will be a restraint. A restraint could be a fixed lanyard that prevents any worker from falling. That means if he ever falls, he's going to fall on his knees. He will not be falling over the edge. Number 4, fall arrest. Fall arrest is a system that catches you after you have fallen. This system, it could be a lanyard with a shock absorber, or it could be a self-retracting lifeline with a full body harness and an anchorage. We have discussed 4 of them. Now the last one, number 5, administrative controls. Administrative controls are installed and supervised by a competent person in fall protection. That means he needs to make sure that this system is installed properly. It has a rope that has a strength of 500 pounds, flagging every 6 foot, and proper signage indicating that fall protection is required beyond this point. Also needs to be erected 34 to 39 inches and needs to make sure that it's offset at least 6 feet for roofers and 15 feet for others. Just make sure that you have the right system in place on your job site. In addition to this, anytime you're going to have somebody working at an elevation of more than 6 foot, you're always going to have the risk of falling objects. It's important you have a good safety plan in place to make sure that the areas below are barricaded to protect those workers from falling objects. And we barricade offset with the proper signage and make sure that that signage and that barricade is maintained every day as we perform any activities on the site. If you have any questions related to anything that we just discussed today as far as the destination for competent person in the activities that are being performed on your job site, contact your competent person or your regional safety manager for more information.